Paul McGuire Grimes, KSTP, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Glenn, Mila, it is a true honor talking to both of you today. Glenn, Big Chill, one of my favorite movies of all time. So this is a real treat. So thank you. Yes, yeah, I got your movies. I got some Glenn's right here.
Oh, look at, there's Mila.
Yes. Now, Mila, you are working next to an acting legend. How does working next to someone like Glenn Close elevate your work as an actor?
Right? I know. I don't know. You kind of just, you show up and you do the best you can. And it's a privilege. I mean, this is not to be cheesy at all. It's a genuine privilege. It's like, it's a masterclass, right? But that I didn't have to pay for. So instantly you're just kind of thrown in and you're just like, wow, it's such a beautiful room to be in. I gush about Glenn all the time. It took me the longest time to not call her Glenn Close. I'm pretty sure I still call her Glenn Close, but Glenn Close is, I know, I can't help it. It's so hard to not say Glenn Close. It's Glenn Close.
Right. Yeah, I mean, how do you not? So Glenn Close, I know that you love doing research and you dive into the reality of who these characters are. Did you get to talk to Libby Alexander, who your character is based on? And what did you learn about what parents of addicts go through?
Well, I asked her a lot of very specific questions about her reactions to things. And she was very, very honest with me, and I think it really helped me, get into that character, the agony of locking your child out of your house. That is where I started. How could you possibly go through that? And then you hear that she's been, she's gone to rehab 14 times. I think it comes a point where you realize that the biggest act of love is to do that, but it's also takes something terrible out of you. And I think one of the things that this story really talks about is the, what it does to families, what this kind of addiction does to families and how difficult it is.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of that scene, I felt the deep history and the conflict that you two have as mother and daughter right away from the very beginning of the movie, like in a way that you don't always get from two characters, two actors working together. How did you work together to specifically build that connection as mother and daughter? Was it in rehearsals? Was it just hanging out outside of work? Glenn, what did you guys do?
Mila, what did we do? I think we didn't have.
We didn't have much time. We didn't do much.
We talked to the people. Also, Eli Saslow, the writer, the wonderful reporter who wrote the initial article. He was there, and he was incredibly. He was a credible font of knowledge. He's actually was in the car with them a couple of times and had lived with these two women.
He was there when she relapsed. Like he was there the day.
Yes, he was in the car when she went into that relapse. Yeah. So he was a great way to get knowledge and everything out of what really happened.
Now, Mila, what do you think are some of the misconceptions of addicts that you're hoping that this film can kind of dispel and inform people of?
I think there's a big one, right? Like probably one that I was at fault for falling into, which was just quit, just stop. Like, what can you not see like all this debris and damage you've caused? Just stop. And I think that like wrapping our head around the fact that it's not a choice, it is a disease, it is a cancer, it is something that is ever growing in us. Or in an addict, and it is something that they struggle with every day. And so I hope that this just brings empathy to the idea of this mother who I'm a mom of two kids, and I can't imagine that there's not something I would never do for them. And yet here we are, right? And so I look at addicts in a very different light today with, I hate saying the word empathy over and over and over again, but just so much more understanding and love.
It was phenomenal. I got the rap single. I wish I could talk to both of you even longer. Glenn, my husband and I are dying for the Sunset Boulevard movie, so let's make that a reality. I'm so excited. And you and I have a connection to Marshalltown, Iowa. I saw on your Instagram. So,
Mary Beth Hurt.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, my husband's father is from that town, and we go to that Maid Ride all the time.
Oh, wow. So, wow. Yeah.
Well, congrats,
Very
guys. This is a
nice.
really wonderful movie, and I hope it teaches people a lot about addiction and the disease that it is. Diane, it is a true honor talking to you today. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank
I'm
you.
kind of curious. You must be asked to write songs for so many movies out there. How do you decide when it's really the right fit and the right project?
I decide by, if I can bring something to it and if I can get inspired by it. And, this was a movie that was, one, fortunately that it's a great movie and, a harrowing story, but, but ultimately inspired me to write a song about. Hope that you can get through it.
Yeah, I love the messages of the movie. Now, what's the collaboration with Reba McEntire like? Because you've worked with her many times before. Did you write the song with her voice and tone in mind, or how does that kind of change when she's in the room?
No, I didn't write it. I should just try to write a great song. I didn't write it with her in mind. But when it came down to, seeing who the perfect artist was, it was Reba, because, Reba really embodies, the strength of the human spirit. She's a strong, strong woman who's gone through, so much tragedy in her life, yet remains, strong and positive. And she just emanates that. And she has one of the best voices of anyone. So it was a pretty easy choice. And it was like casting a role, when you do a song in a movie, finding the right artist is casting a role. That artist you find has to, fit within that movie. And Reba could have been in that movie.
Right.
She could have been one of the mothers or one of the,
Now, a film's theme song or score is so vital to a movie and kind of elevates the movie exponentially. What are some of your favorite movie scores or film songs that have left an impression on you that you haven't written? And are there composers or lyricists that you turn to for inspiration?
I'm trying to think some of my favorite movie songs. I mean, I don't know, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, to Born Free, to Sir with Love, to Purple Rain. These are all songs that are just, to the Eminem song,
Yeah.
Lose Yourself. These are all songs that just that power the movie or become snapshots of them. And so many scores. I think my favorite score of all time is Somewhere in Time by John Barry.
I know the movie and John Barry, but I can't hear the score in my head right now. But I've definitely.
I just love the movie. I love the score. Those are some of my favorites, just right off the top of my head.
Yeah, when I think about the song, Somehow You Do, you get through things, you get through conflict, you get through horrible days. And much like in 2020, there were days where you may be having a down week or a down day, week, month. What
Exactly.
do you do to refocus yourself when you're in that kind of mindset?
I just work, I just try to, during the pandemic, I just did what I always do. I sit alone in a room but writing this song for this movie during the pandemic was, it was paralleling real life, like where people were feeling really like life punched a hole in their soul, and, you didn't think you're going to, like, how are we going to get through this? We can't go, just seeing what the devastation that was going on, the loss of life, the lot of people losing, their businesses. You can't be with your family. And it's just devastating time, and yet, there's hope.
Right. Well, I definitely get that from the song. It's a great song. It's been great talking to Diane. I really enjoy the song. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Good to talk to you. Thank you.
Yeah, you too.